Matchups have been set. We have the Hawks, the Magic, the Heat, the Bulls in the East, the Kings, the Mavs, the Warriors, and the Grizzlies. They will battle in the West here, Brian. I don't think any game is bigger than the one between Golden State here and the Memphis Grizzlies. This is a mini rivalry that's been brewing over the last couple of years. What are you going to be watching in this one?
Well, the Grizzlies have just struggled so much against the best teams in the league over the last 2.5 months. There was a time in early February where they were in the top 4 in the West and playing extremely well. Things have gone very far south since then. Obviously, they've had a coaching change. They just haven't been able to deliver in these high-leverage moments. But here's the thing about the play-in, Malika. The reason there's so much value in it is you can solve all of these problems. They play one really good game tomorrow in Golden State. They can flip the script and grab the 7th seed, take the rest of the week off, and prepare to play a Rockets team that doesn't have the experience. They lose, then they have to travel back and win a game, potentially to play the Thunder. So as tough as it's been for the Grizzlies, as much inconsistency as they've had, it's still there. One great night, they can totally pivot the second half of their season.
I think it will take a spectacular performance from Ja Morant here, particularly because of the numbers that we just showed you. There is a new secret weapon that the Golden State Warriors have, and his name is Playoff Jimmy. More from you, Brian, in just a minute. But as we get into so much more with this matchup, I think we need to take a look at that impact on the court. Because, UD, last night we got a little taste, a preview of Playoff Jimmy. What makes him so potent?
I mean, Jimmy Butler is one of the smartest basketball players that I've ever been around. How you guard him in the regular season or how you guard him in one game, you're not going to be able to guard him like that the second one. Right now, they're planning on making him go right. He just goes downhill. He gets Zubac on him, a bigger defender. He goes at him. He spins and gets the shot. One thing about Jimmy is he watches a lot of film. He's very engaged in everything. Off the ball, once he gets in the paint, he's going to make the right play. If you guard him one-on-one, he's going to exploit that matchup. Nobody can stop Jimmy Butler one-on-one. Nobody. Gets down in the paint right here again. Coming up the floor, he defers, he passes it. Has a smaller guy. He pulls up against Zubac here. Jimmy Butler, to me, raises his game in the playoffs because whatever he did in the regular season, he's going to look at that film. He's going to make sure the weaknesses and the way you play him, the things you tried to exploit, he's going to make those his strengths in the playoffs. He's an ultimate competitor. When he's back against the wall, that's when you see the best version of Jimmy Butler.
We should just call him Sierra. Why? Because he levels up every single time. And when you look at these first-round series, you can see right here the prices, the ticket prices, and the odds, according to ESPN Bet Sportsbook. The Pistons and Knicks, the Bucks, the Pacers, the Wolves, Lakers, the Clippers, and the Nuggets here. Anthony Edwards and the Timberwolves, they are set to face the Los Angeles Lakers, of course, in the first round. After having a technical rescinded to make him available, Anthony Edwards, how he got here is he dropped 43 points against the Jazz, which locked up Minnesota as the 6th seed after the Warriors lost to the Grizzlies in overtime. LeBron James, Luka Doncic, Austin Reeves, they didn't play in the final game with a variety of soreness, strains, sprains, but you don't have to worry about them in the first round probably against the Timberwolves. You would have to imagine that that's a little bit more rest and having locked up the 3 seed than anything else here. So the Lakers, they are the favorites in this series, but this is a series, Brian, where the stars are absolutely going to be out. Who do you think is going to have to show up in order to take their team over the top?
We saw Luka and what he did against the Timberwolves last year in the Western Conference Finals when he was a member of the Dallas Mavericks. He was dominant in that series, particularly, Malika, in the games in Minneapolis. He just dropped the dagger into those fans there. They tried a couple of different strategies against him. When Rudy Gobert was put out him on the switches, he just feasted on them. So we'll see if they change up their strategy facing him with a different Lakers team. But I'm going to be honest with you. I am very interested in just watching Ant Edwards try to carry his team from being the underdog here. Last year, and I know it was not against the Lakers, I know that it was against the Mavericks, it was different. Ant had exhausted himself in that second-round series against Denver. When they got to the series against Luka, and it was supposed to be mano-a-mano, potentially we thought it was going to be the next MVP of the league, he wasn't able to match with him. He wasn't able to go toe-to-toe. That will not be the case this time. They're both going to have the week off. I want to see Ant Edwards. I think the Lakers are favored too. I agree with that, with the bookmakers on that. I want to see Ant Edwards try to be the best player in this series.
You can't guard him the way you did last year. He led the league in threes this year, so he's not a one-trick pony just getting to the basket. He's an offensive guy that can get to it from all three levels. But what I will say about this, he has to be extremely explosive. We're talking about 35 to 40 points a game just for those guys to be in competition here. And he can do it. And he loves playing against the guys he used to watch and play video games. We saw what he did against KD last year. We're going to see how he goes against Bron.
On the surface, though, Ant gets double-teamed a lot. I'm very curious how JJ starts to scheme for Anthony Edwards, because I think it's actually going to require a huge series out of Julius Randle.
Well, I'm never going to try to go head-to-head on X's and O's, but what I suspect the Lakers will look at, put LeBron on one of the weaker offensive players that the Wolves put out there, whether it's Rudy Gobert or whether it's Jaden McDaniels, so you can shoot the threes and let him roam. Whether that's to be a double-teamer or whether that's to do what he does so well, which is play help defense, that potentially could be a comfortable option for the Lakers, who are trying to save LeBron's energy.
I mean, what can we expect out of LeBron James here? You know him as well, if not better than anyone.
It's on. This is it. You got Luka. You got the pieces you want. You didn't have a center. You got the coach you want. You got all the things that you want right now. This is going to be the best version of LeBron James. He came into the second half of the season. He was rolling, took a couple of days off because he was hurt. But the best version of LeBron James is coming right now. He understands what the expectations are when you bring a guy like Luka Doncic into your team, and he's wearing that Laker jersey.
Is it as wild to you as it is to me, Brian Windhorst, that this is the first time as a member of the Los Angeles Lakers that he's secured home court advantage?
He's never played a game one at Crypto.
Wow.
Which is amazing. And obviously the Lakers were one of the best home teams, I think the best home team in the West outside the Thunder. So that's not just a nice factoid, that's a significant factor.
But I will say this. Let's not forget about Naz Reid. Let's not forget, because they're going to switch those matchups. The Lakers are going to switch everything. Naz Reid is a guy who can exploit those switches. You can't just switch anybody on the Naz Reid and think that you're going to have a stop. Naz Reid is a guy who can exploit those switches. So if Naz Reid can get it going, give him a little bit of help, and the others just fill in the blanks, you have a chance to make this a 7-game series. This
is a prime-time matchup. We're going to get to see it Saturday night on ABC. But before all of that, we got a play-in to get through, right? The game's on Wednesday at 7:30 Eastern. The Bulls host the Heat in the Eastern Conference 9-10 game. Then it's the Western Conference 9-10 game, the Mavs and the Kings. The losers of those games are done. The winners play the losers of the 7-8 games later this week. Got it? All right, good. Our coverage begins with NBA Countdown. That's at 7 o'clock Eastern.
Oh, my God! But this league produces these kind of highlights every single night.
It's time for our NBA Today Big Three. I feel like I need to retract that. It's time for our NBA Today Big Three here.
Beautifully done.
Thank you. We got to start with Yuki. This was beautiful, Brian. Watch this. We get the steal. And then the over-the-head pass dime to Marvin Bagley for a two-hander.
Definitely the #1 highlight viewed today in Japan.
I'm fouling him. He's not getting a highlight on me.
You're fouling?
I'm fouling him.
John Moran says, you see that vision? Check that out. #2, Johnny Furphy. It's fun to say. Furphy. He gets it in the corner here and then drives.
How do you feel about the move?
Whoa! Poster.
No, he didn't. It's when you don't know those guys on the scout report and they get away with stuff like that. Tough.
With the jam. And at #1, another fun name to say, Bub Carrington.
Oh, man.
He didn't call glass.
Oh, man.
But he did call game in this highlight right here, Director Vanessa. Watch this. Bub. No flub. Gets the buzzer beater.
Oh, my God.
Lifts the Wizards over the Heat. Sorry, UD.
16 games in the bag down the stretch that the Heat weren't able to pull out. This is just another one.
Oof.
Can't be mad about the defense.
That was great defense, man. Better offense. Can't be mad at that.
What a play. And then tonight in the WNBA, it's the first page in Becker's WNBA story, and it starts shortly. We check in live with our friend Shanae Agumake, who's on the orange carpet in New York ahead of tonight's draft. That's next on NBA Today.